What's going on, guys, and welcome to another video. That's right, bringing it back again. And early this week, we're going to just do something fun. We're going to start it light. There's not a lot of Raptors content going on. We've got the draft next week, so we'll start talking about some of that stuff, some predictions, some other fun stuff around that. But today we're going to be talking about the top 5 greatest Raptors of all time. And we're talking specifically Raptor players, so Masai Ujiri, Dwayne Casey, Nick Nurse, those guys aren't involved in this conversation. We're only going to be talking about the greatest Raptor players of all time. And if you've already seen my Instagram post, you'll know the rankings. But today we're going to be talking about my reasoning behind these rankings. So the first thing we're going to start with is the way the rankings work. But before we do, let's get right into it. Let's go. So let's start right into it and talk about the way the rankings work. The player's tenure with the Raptors equates to 1 point. A championship won is 3 points. An All-Star appearance with the team is 2 points per year. All-NBA is 3 points per year. All defense is 1 point per year. Any other accolades that I didn't mention are a bonus 2 points. Finals MVP or regular season MVP is 5 points. A big award like the Sixth Man of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved is 3 points. And then you get 2 points for each playoff series win that you have. And the players in consideration, there are 7 guys that are in consideration for the greatest Raptor of all time. 2 of them I'm going to eliminate automatically, and those are going to be my honorable mentions. Those are Pascal Siakam as one of them, and Antonio Davis. The reason why is they're only one-time All-Stars with not a lot of other accolades on top of that. I think as years go by, Pascal Siakam could make a case to breach this top 5, but for now, the 5 guys that we're going to be considering are Kawhi Leonard, DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, Chris Bosh, Vince Carter as the 5 players who could potentially render the GOAT status for the Toronto Raptors. All right, so let's get right into the point system. So we'll start with Kyle Lowry. Here are his accolades with the Toronto Raptors. 9 seasons with Toronto. He's a 6-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, and he won the championship in 2019. And he has 9 playoff series wins. He won 2 series in 2016 when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, 1 in 2017 and 2018, 4 in 2019, obviously winning the title that year, and then 1 in 2020 before losing to the Celtics in 7 games. So he's got 9 points for his 9 seasons, 12 for his 6 All-Stars, 3 for his All-NBA, 3 for his championship, and 18 for his 9 playoff series wins, which puts him at a whopping 45 points. That's a significant number. Obviously, he spent a lot of time with Toronto. A lot of people consider him to be the greatest Raptor of all time, even though he wasn't the most talented player. He came to Toronto as a guy with nothing under his belt, no All-Star appearances. He was just a bench role player in Memphis and then in Houston. And then he came to Toronto as a flyer, and Masai Ujiri turned him into one of the greatest players in Raptors history. And it's just crazy to think about his growth over that time. It's an insane jump from uncoachable. He was considered uncoachable in the NBA to being the greatest Raptor of all time, or at least one of them in this conversation. The next guy's Kawhi Leonard. Obviously only played 1 season with the Raptors. He won the championship. He was a 1-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, 1-time All-Defensive, 1 Finals MVP, and 4 series wins. And if you guys don't already know, these are their accolades with the Toronto Raptors. We're not considering other accolades to be a part of this ranking. If we're ranking them to be the most talented player, we would put those other things in. But because that's not the case, we're just talking Raptors career. We're just talking about their accolades. So I just mentioned all of Kawhi Leonard's. That puts him at 1 point for his 1 season with the Raptors, plus 3 points for his championship, plus 2 points for his All-Star, plus 3 points for his All-NBA, 1 point for his All-Defensive team, 5 points for his Finals MVP, and 8 points for the 4 series wins, which puts him at 23 points. And I think that if he were to play one more season with the Toronto Raptors, he would be vaulted super high, because 23 points in one season, just given this This point system that I made, this is completely arbitrary, but this is a point system I made. If you look at the amount of points you can get in a season, Kawhi Leonard is near the top this year. He didn't win MVP, but if you were to add like an MVP in there, or if you were to win Defensive Player of the Year, that'd be one of the greatest seasons in NBA history. And it already was. That's how great he was. But an insane season from Kawhi Leonard puts him at 23 points, vaults him into this conversation instantly, being the only Raptor player with the Finals MVP under his belt. The third guy we're talking about is Vince Carter. He played 6.5 seasons with the Toronto Raptors, pushed himself out, demanding for a trade in that 7th season. So we're only going to give him 6 seasons with the Toronto Raptors. He was a 5-time All-Star. He won Rookie of the Year. I think it was in 98-99. He was a 2-time All-NBA, 1 playoff series win in 2001. And so if you add those up together, you get 6 for 6 seasons, 10 points for 5 All-Stars, 3 points for Rookie of the Year, 6 points for 2-time All-NBA, and then 1 playoff series win gets him 2 more points to put him at 27 points. And I think the lack of playoff success doesn't really attribute to his fault per se, but the way that the team operated back in the day. And we're going to see that with Chris Bosh, who's next, and guys that played multiple years with the Raptors, were super talented, but they couldn't really build anything around them. And unfortunately, that's the story of these older players, and that's why their rankings are going to get hit hard in terms of top 5, because they just didn't have any playoff success during their career with the Toronto Raptors. And that goes perfectly into the Chris Bosh story. Obviously, he was drafted in 2003, played 7 seasons with Toronto. He was a 5-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, did not win a single playoff series, leaves Toronto to go to Miami, wins 2 championships as a more role-level player, as the third fiddle there. But in terms of his point system with the Raptors, he gets 7 seasons with the Raptors, 7 points, 5-time All-Star plus 10 points, and then 1-time All-NBA adds 3 points to put him at 20. So not a ton of points. Kawhi Leonard single-handedly in one season kicked his ass in points. That's pretty crazy to think about. Obviously, greatest season in Raptors history was that Kawhi Leonard one. And then the last guy is DeMar DeRozan. He played 9 seasons with the Raptors. He is a 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, and then he won 4 playoff series, 2 in 2016, 1 in 2017, 1 in 2018. No other success before that, and then obviously was traded after getting swept in the second round in that 2018 series, which puts him at a total of 9 points for the 9 seasons, plus 8 points for his All-Star, plus 2 points for his All-NBA, and then 6 points for his All-NBA, and then 8 points for the 4 series wins, which totals him to 31 points. And that puts the finalized rankings at Kyle Lowry at number 1 with 45 points. DeMar DeRozan's the second greatest Raptor with 31. Vince Carter is the third with 27. Kawhi Leonard is fourth with 23. And Chris Bosh is fifth with 20 points. And I think that rounds it out pretty well. I actually really like these rankings. I like the way that it turned out. Obviously, I fiddled with the numbers a little bit to make more sense and to sort of put guys in certain places where I thought it fit the bill. And I think playoff success was the big one, where you reward players not only for making the playoffs, but more for winning playoff series. And that's why Vince Carter and Chris Bosh didn't end up touching DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, despite individually at the time being just as good, if not better players than DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. They just had the playoff success, they had the fluidity, and a big part of that is Masai Ujiri working in the background to build a team that actually makes sense on the roster. And that's why you had such good Raptor teams. They were just full of talent, full of depth. Sometimes you had 10 guys who were good, and we saw that with the bench mob 2017 and 2018. But that's it from me. Thank you guys for listening. If you like this type of content, let me know. Comment below who you'd put as your top 5, which ones I got wrong, which ones I got right. I want to hear it. Thank you for listening. I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace out, everyone.